Hey, this is WWE and ECW alumni, the Blue Meanie, and you're listening to PCW.
The question is, are you ready? Let me talk to you.
I will give you a show like you have never, ever seen before. Why? Because I can.
What do you guys want to talk about?
And the color red in a world full of black and white. I am the eater of worlds. Yeah, to get some acknowledge me. The champ is here. But to be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here.
Hey, yo.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of PCW, Podcast Championship Wrestling. I am your host, Wayne, also known as Semi-Dry Chicken, and why am I a little off today? It's because I'm doing something I haven't done since episode 70. I am doing a solo episode. A solo episode. Do you want to know why? It's because it's the holidays. It's Thanksgiving. Everybody's spending time with their family. And the last thing I want to do is pull you away from your family to do an episode of PCW. Really? No. So what I had people send it to me, chime in, send me their predictions for Wargames. So, with that said, let's carry on. Alright, guys. Let's move on here. Survivor Series Wargames. Where is it this year? Where is it? Let's see. It is in San Diego, California at the Petco Park. Wow. I don't know if we've been there before. For a PLE, we probably have. It's probably been a minute, but all the way in California. Jeez. So I wonder what time they're actually starting, because here in eastern part of the country, it starts. They say kickoff shows like 6:30, so 7 o'clock. So I'm assuming like it starts way later there or way earlier. Probably wondering too, like why is Wayne so quiet today, so soft? Is he sick? Is he having voice issues again? No, it's because it's 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, the day after Thanksgiving. I waited. This is the longest I think I waited to deliver a predictions episode the night before, you know. So I thought I'd get this out nice and early in the morning. You know, I got my coffee here, no alcohol this morning. You know, I got a little buzz, but you know, that's from other things this morning. But you know, we're gonna dig into this a little bit. We're gonna get everybody's predictions. We're going to go over some news. We're going to go over the John Cena tournament. We're going to go over some spoilers for Smackdown, because I figure, why the hell not? By the time you listen to this, or you may not even have time for Smackdown, you might be thankful. You might be like, thanks, Wayne. I didn't have time to watch Smackdown and all those ads. Thanks for going in there and doing all the hard work. So, with that said, let me get in here to Survivor Series. We only got 4 matches on the card, and that's about normal for our PLEs nowadays. And we know that the Wargames matches, they take up a hell of a lot of time, so it makes sense why we only have 4. I'll be honest with you, I'm only looking forward to 3 out of 4 of these. Surprisingly, you know. I feel like they probably could have added one more title match to this. You know, we do have both. It's crazy. We have both world champions on the card. they're just not putting the titles on the line. I do miss the standard Survivor Series big elimination teams. To me, that was the most exciting thing about Survivor Series, is getting two separate teams together and then having an elimination-based style on either side. Even in the 2K games, they offer it, but it's only like up to 4 versus 4 now. They still haven't mastered the 5-on-5. It'd probably make the game crash, I would assume. But yeah, now we got Wargames, and for people who've never seen a Wargames match, I feel like this year you're in for a special treat. I keep saying it when I have the button. They even brought him back this year just for this occasion, and so should I. I should bring him back just for this bumper.
War Games.
Yes, William Regal. Say it again. Say it again.
War Games.
Yeah. So, with this War Games match, which has been going on for a couple of years now it's become basically standard. I believe they had it in WCW. They had it in NXT before, I believe, maybe once. But they brought it to Survivor Series, and now it seems like this is it. The standard elimination style matches seem to be out the window, at least at Survivor Series. We have one happening on Smackdown, so we're kind of giving us a little bit of both. But, do we really need 2 War Games matches nowadays? Can we just get by with either just the men's or just the women's, and then maybe make the other one a basic elimination style? Yeah, I don't know, guys. But as it looks going forward, we're going to be getting the 2 wrestling rings side by side with the massive steel cage over it. As far as I remember, there's 2 cages on the top of the ring. Well, not on the top, but like up on the ramp, and you have both teams in there. You start the match with one member of each team, and every couple minutes, somebody's cage opens up and lets a one team member down, one at a time. They trade off between the 2 teams, and the match doesn't actually start until all the wrestlers are in the ring, and then it's first pin and submission. It's not what I thought would be like an elimination style, like, okay, now we can start eliminating people. Nope, it's not that. It's like, it's not elimination all the way through, like from the very beginning. You can eliminate people as they come in. That's not it either. They wait for everybody to get in that ring, then they start the bell. But 90% of the participants are already exhausted because they've been in there the whole time, and the match hasn't even started. So, makes me wonder, like, certain placement of certain. Well, we'll get to that when I get to that match. But let's kick off. I'm sure they're gonna start this off. This War Games. We're gonna start off with like the women's, right? We're gonna start off with the women's. That seems about pretty much the right way to go about it, right? Kick off the show. The women are gonna raise the bar and keep the crowd going, keep the crowd excited and hyped. And then we'll probably get the 2 other filler matches in between. A bunch of promos. Maybe an update on the John Cena tournament. I don't know. Then we'll have the men's, I assume, at the end. So, all right, we'll start with the first match, which we got Rhea, Ripley, Io Sky, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, AJ Lee versus Team Becky Lynch, which is Asuka, Kairi. Oh wait, that's Asuka and Kairi Sane. Yes. Yep. Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Alright, guys. For months, the women's tag team champions, Asuka and Kairi, have been tormenting Rhea and Io Sky. I mean, ongoing feud. And they have done the same to former title holders Charlotte and Alexa Bliss in recent weeks. Nia Jax and Lash Legend have joined them in their mission to interfere on the behalf of the Kabuki Warriors in their title win. The introduction of Lee as partner to the babyfaces last Monday drew the attention of Becky Lynch, who lost the women's Intercontinental Championship to Maxine Dupree after an interference from the former Divas champion. The man joined the heels officially Friday on Smackdown. There hasn't been much in the way of cohesive storytelling leading to this one, with several different storylines being wedged into one match for the sake of having a women's Wargames contest, but the talent involved should ensure its quality. Unlike the men's match, though, one would be hard-pressed to identify the major angle or storyline advancement to come out on this one, except for the escalation of AJ Lee and Becky Lynch, and a potential one-on-one match for one of them, or for them to show sometime in the near future. I think, though, this is going to be a big babyface win. I honestly think it's a hell of a matchup. I mean, you do got, Lash Legend, who's pretty much the only one in there that's, green as goose shit. But you also got AJ Lee, who may be a little ring rust. I mean, we saw her at, was it WrestlePalooza? I think she did great. But still, at the end of the day, I think AJ Lee's team is just far superior. Just the amount of championship gold on that team alone. Holy crap. I think it's great that AJ Lee's back. She's been gone for so long. She kind of has so many titles to get her hands on, because she helped start the women's revolution. She kind of left before it really kicked off, I think. And now that there's women's tag titles, there's 2 women's world titles. There's a women's WWE and a world title. There's not a Divas title anymore. We have now an Intercontinental. We have a United States women's title. Hell, we have a women's North American and NXT championship, I believe. Mixed tag title. So, there's so many more titles now for women. So I think AJ Lee has come back I thought I was ahead, but I'm kind of behind now. You got all these titles to win. So hopefully she sticks around and maybe picks up a title somewhere along the line. But yeah, I mean, come on. It's going to be, for sure, we're going to see the trash can and EO again, for sure. Maybe Charlotte do some sort of massive backflip. Don't know. Moonsault. Will Rhea be wearing the mask? I don't know. Will Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, work together? I don't know. It seemed too, on Raw the other night, Becky was explaining how none of these girls would be here if it wasn't for her. She's going to take Lash Legend under her wing, and it was all just funny. All just hilarious. So, I mean, that just right there, a heel boasting better, that they're better than all the other heels on their team. You can just read the room with all the looks on their faces. I don't see that going well. I see some people not working together. Maybe, the alliance is not working very well for the heel team. We'll see. You got 3 separate groups. You got Becky, and then you got Nia and Lash, and then you got Asuka and Kairi. It's 3 groups right there, just having their own mind, their own path, their own set of goals and rules. So, I mean, once the dust clears, it's for sure, Nia and Lash Legend are going to be looking at those tag titles. I know Becky don't have any gold right now, but she's been running her mouth ever since she lost it. So, all right. Bold predictions. All right, guys, let's move on. John Cena versus Dominik Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. Man, this guy's only held the IC title for 2 weeks? I think it's been 2 weeks, right? Yeah, it was seriously when he won the title, the IC title off him in Boston. It was one of my favorite moments of his retirement tour, besides becoming the 17-time, heavyweight champion. I just thought, like, there's no way how are we going to end John Cena's career if you want to call him the GOAT, but he's not a Grand Slam champion? How can you not be a GOAT? And the fact that we thought of many scenarios, and I thought of them even over the years, of how we can get John Cena to be a Grand Slam champion, and it just never, I can never write him in a story correctly that would put him in for the IC title, and winning it and making it make sense. But even though with the limited time John Cena has, the sons of bitches found a way to like slip it in right at the end, making him a Grand Slam champ. I never thought I'd see the day John Cena with an IC title on his shoulder or around his waist. With that said, it's great. He has the IC title. They're going to be running it back, though, in San Diego. Mysterio's hometown. With the opportunity for Cena to put the second-generation star over in a big way. It just feels right. It's funny because Dom pretty much got to, it feels like, skip to the front of the line. He didn't have to participate in this John Cena tournament, but yet he'll be the guy to take the last title off of John Cena. Whether, I doubt it's going to be a clean win. Let's be fair, right? Let's be fair. Not fair. Let's be real here. Like, Dom's going to win back the title, right? And it's going to be a dirty Dom way. But I don't know if he's going to actually get the help of the Judgment Day to do it. He might have to. But the Judgment Day and him just haven't been seen, eye to eye on a lot of stuff. I'm not saying within the group. I mean just him and Judgment Day. It's not problems within Judgment Day. It seems clearly to be him. So I don't know. Maybe they don't help him. He wins it back in a dirty way, whether it's what was he using before? He was using some sort of weapon. It wasn't brass knuckles. It was something stupid. He was putting something in his boot. I don't remember. Steel plate. I don't remember. I'm sure he'll cheat somehow and get the win. Roll him up, hit him with the title when the ref's not looking. Something, right? The ref's gonna get knocked out by accident. Something. Because, like, if John Cena retains, right, he takes the IC title with him to the last match? Now, the last match isn't just about, the last match ever. It's also about the IC title, which I don't think so. I think it should all be about John Cena. The title, it doesn't need to be a title involved for his last match. So, I don't think we need to see the IC title carry on. I think it's best to put it back on Dirty Dom, and Dom will lose it some other way. Whether he loses it to Rey next, I don't know. That probably make more sense losing it to Rey Mysterio, right? I don't know how long it's been since Rey Mysterio has held the IC title, or if he's even held the IC title. You know what? Let's Rey Mysterio IC title wins. I don't know. Okay. Rey Mysterio is a 2-time Intercontinental Champion. He won the title for the first time April 5th of 2009 at WrestleMania by defeating Chris Jericho. His second reign began on January 29th, 2009 when he beat Jericho at a house show in Rome, Italy. So, oh wow, Jericho put him over twice for the IC title. But, I don't know. We see Rey being a 3-time Intercontinental Champion going forward. I think this is going to be a huge win for Dom, though. Like I said, huge win. Huge chip on his shoulder. I mean, you're beating John Cena for the IC title. You didn't even enter the tournament, which is the big thing. Like, what a big fuck you to a bunch of other guys who were struggling in this tournament and getting injured nonetheless. Getting injured in the process. Holy shit. Sheamus, and Penta, these shoulder injuries. It's crazy. So I think Dom's deserves this rub, man, from John Cena. It's just, how well is this match going to go? And what my biggest thing is like, okay, so it's his hometown. Are we going to be booing or cheering John Cena? Are we going to be booing or cheering Dirty Dom? Dirty Dom is at that edge, man, where he could just be a face soon, and people are going to fucking love it. It's just waiting for that right angle, whether it's ditching Judgment Day, and that's what puts him in the face position, and people are just going to love it. So I'm pretty excited about it. We'll see where it goes. Yeah, so we'll see where it goes. We'll see how we'll read the crowd. We'll read this California crowd. Okay, moving on. Dun dun dun. Oh, bold predictions, ladies and gentlemen. The Women's World Championship match. All right, we got Stephanie Vaquer versus beautiful Nikki Bella. Now listen, for weeks after her return to WWE at Evolution in July, Nikki Bella had forged a friendship with Stephanie, teaming up with her, encouraging her, encouraging the women's world champion to her dreams. Once Stephanie captured the women's title, Bella bid her time, and on November 10th of episode of Raw, she leveled her with a forearm and expressed her desire to be champion. A second sneak attack a week later put Bella in the driver's seat entering Survivor Series, with the momentum on her side and Vaquer on the defensive. While there's always money in the babyface chasing the gold against the hatred heel, Vaquer is not only going to lose her second defense of the title. Expect this feud to continue past Survivor Series, but the champion will retain. She's going to lose but retain. Explain. I will. Where has Brie Bella been? With her husband in AEW? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure Brie Bella's a free agent. And to me, what I've known in the past, if you're any kind of a Bella fan, so I'm probably just standing there by myself as the Bella one-man army, they come as a package deal in some way, shape, or form. In some point in time, they're a package deal. You know it. I know it. They're going to be both wrapping up their careers. Nikki Bella said recently this is her last run with the company. Some people are probably like, thank God. Sure. Last run with the company. I think insert Brie Bella. Also, last run with the company, right? Let these women retire together. I'm pretty sure I don't feel like Nikki's going to win a women's world title anytime soon. I think more or less what sounds better is bringing Brie back and maybe them going for the tag titles. I also think it's I feel like that's where they were kind of heading before Liv got injured. I feel like they were aiming towards the tag titles. It was a little program with Nikki Bella and Liv and Raquel, and I feel like they were going to probably bring Brie in and go for those women's tag titles before Liv got injured. So maybe now they can kind of circle back to that somehow, now that the Kabuki Warriors have the titles. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like interference of some kind. And if not, I mean, again, I don't think with Stephanie winning the women's world title so soon, you're really gonna have her lose it so quickly. I just don't see that happening. I see her retaining for a little bit longer, maybe at least until the Rumble, and then go from there. But yeah, unfortunately, Nikki, as much as I'd like to see her be a world champion one more time, I'm just gonna say no. I think you're gonna be there just for the looks. You're gonna look good. That's pretty much it. All right. I'm going to take a little break here, and then we're going to dip right back into this.
Yo, Hulkamaniacs, it's me, Hulk Hogan. Check out my new look. Brother, I was at Arby's scarfing down a chicken cordon bleu. That natural chicken tastes righteous. That's because it's not all pumped up with phosphates and fillers, which gave the Hulkster an idea. Maybe I don't need to be pumped up either. Who needs to be doing bench presses and deadlifts all day?
Now all of Arby's chicken is made with 100% all-natural, all-delicious chicken. Try our chicken cordon bleu with ham and melted Swiss. It'll have you saying,
I'm thinking Arby's, brother.
Okay, I'm back. That wasn't very long. Not for you guys. You know, I've been drinking a lot of coffee this morning, trying to keep myself a little energized, wake myself up here, being so damn early. The sun's not even up. You're all sleeping. Every one of you listeners are probably sleeping right now. Maybe. It's your day off, right? It's the holidays. Hopefully you all have off. Alright, guys. Let's proceed. Let's move on to the main event of Wargames. Alright. I had it all brought up here and I just lost it. Alright, undisputed champion. Undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes, World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk, the OTC Roman Reigns, and the Usos versus Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. Lesnar returned to WWE for the first time since squashing John Cena at WrestlePalooza, revealing himself to be Paul Heyman's secret weapon on the heel side of things for the men's WWE Wargames match. The babyface has one-upped the opposition by the return of Roman Reigns, who leveled the beast with a devastating Superman punch. And this week on Raw, Superman punches all around. One of the most star-studded matchups in the history of Survivor Series. There is an argument to be made for either man guiding his team to victory inside Wargames. Reigns has won the match twice, while Punk and Rhodes have both scored victories in the last 2 years. The heel teams is mostly inexperienced when it comes to Wargames, but with only McIntyre and Bronson Reed having competed in the contest previously. Inexperienced or not, the heel group is brimming with unstoppable forces, and one of the most fearless competitors in WWE in Paul. While Reigns and the Usos, Punk and Rhodes are all future WWE Hall of Famers for sure, it remains to be seen whether they can withstand the fury that will encounter inside the steel cage. The question is, how many story threads will present themselves, and how likely will it be that we witness a major angle that propels things forward and potentially hints at the direction for the road to WrestleMania 42. An angle such as Jey Uso further embracing his inner tribal chief by aligning himself with Paul Heyman for the sake of regarding the world title. Maybe? Maybe? I'm predicting the heels go over Brock Lesnar's team. Again, these teams are stacked. I will say, though, I feel like deep down inside, if Seth Rollins never got injured, we would have had Seth instead of Logan Paul. And damn, that if that was originally the goal, damn, that would have been fantastic to have, this is obviously, I would think, before the Vision would have turned on him. I think they would have dragged it out a little bit longer, maybe till War Games till they turned on him. But to have Seth and Drew, Seth and Brock, to have Drew and Brock, to have these three guys who we know have had so much fucking beef, to have them on the same damn team, holy hell, I think it's great. Brock Lesnar being a team player, come on. When was the last time Brock Lesnar was a fucking team player? Ever. In anything, what the hell of a team. I think the men's two teams here are stacked. And let's go over to the the other team, the face team. You got two champions. You got the world champion and you got the WWE champion. I honestly, I can't think of two better people to have, on your team. If you don't have the world tag team champions, why not just have the world champions? I think that's pretty nuts in itself. And then you got one of the greatest tag teams of all time, the Usos. Finally on the same page. And then you have the return of the OTC, Roman freaking Reigns. And again, beef with these guys. Punk, Rhodes, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns. They all got beef. I guess you could say Jimmy too at some point, but they all got beef. Here's where I think it gets a little hazy. The idea of Jey Uso possibly costing his team the win. 2 bullet points here. Jey Uso has been having an attitude shift lately in the past couple weeks. And the other point I have is he's had other babyfaces question him lately. WWE has been teasing the possibility of Jey Uso, turn for some time now. And inside the Wargames structure might be the best time to do it. Having him become heel is something that the audience are now hoping to see, as his main event babyface run has started to feel a little stale. His attitude lately has teased a heel turn, and having him cost the babyfaces inside Wargames would be an effective way of doing it. This would protect those stars who were defeated while allowing the heels to pick up a significant win. On top of that, it would give Jey an important change at the right time, setting up a notable feud for the likes of Punk or Roman, or even Jimmy again. Having Jey go heel would open him up to just a big opportunity to face a bunch of face wrestlers, that hasn't really been tying it up with. I still think the entrance is over. If he turns heel, does that mean the end of Yeet? Does that mean the end of he coming out and yeeting his way through the crowd? I don't know. We'll see. I don't think they're gonna stop it, because I think once the music hits, that's it. The crowd just goes with it. But I think once the music's over, that's it for Jey. It's just back to boring old Jey. I think he's all Flair, man. All Flair with that entrance theme. And I know there's people out there who aren't going to like my opinion, but, boo-hoo. Also, they're going to have Jey Uso start the match, right? They ain't going to have him be locked in the cage. They're going to have him yeeting all his way the fuck down that ramp. He'll be the last guy out. Right? But can Jey go? Can he go? That's a long match. If you're coming out first, you're eating like crazy. You're probably going to run it back again. And then you're going to do a Wargames match. You're going to be the first guy out. Whew, baby. Also, you guys remember the last time Roman was back? What he said? What he said? Do you guys remember what he said to the Usos? If you don't, here it is.
I don't want to see y'all till Christmas.
I don't want to see y'all till Christmas. Well, here we are, guys. Here we are. Before Christmas, I guess. Yeah, that's my predictions, guys, for this. I didn't listen to anybody else's predictions, because I kind of wanted to give my own before I was kind of guided, yeah, I wasn't quite ready to listen to everybody else's yet. I feel like that would have deterred maybe some of my picks. Some of these are pretty easy, right? That's kind of how everything's going to play out. Let's talk about some news. Let's talk about some other things that are going on in wrestling. Monday Night Raw. I don't see how anybody could have missed it, but Brock Lesnar on Monday Night Raw slipped and fell on his ass on Raw. It's happened. I've seen it. Goldberg did it once. Get a little excited around when that pyro goes off. You're doing little kicks in the air, your little whatever your moves are, your little taunt, and he slipped and fell and ate shit. He recovered quickly, But so far in 2025, Brock Lesnar returned earlier this year, and he had some pyro hit the crowd. He also returned and attacked R-Truth, and his pants ripped. He also had one of the worst matches of the year, the worst PLE matches. That was against John Cena. It was a squash match. And then he ripped his pants. So that's Brock Lesnar in a nutshell for 2025 thus far. So if you didn't see that, go check that. Let me write that down. I didn't put that in my show notes. Brock rips panties. I'm not going to put panties because if he finds out I said panties, he might come back and kill me. Here's what I say with Brock Lesnar slipped and fell. Especially if I was in the very front row seeing that. I wouldn't laugh unless Brock is laughing. If Brock isn't laughing, you don't laugh. Because if Brock isn't laughing and he sees you laughing, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel about that. I might pee myself. Last thing I'm going to do is piss off a guy like Brock Lesnar, right? I always think it's cool you can tease wrestlers and stuff, but Brock Lesnar seems like one of those guys, he has enough time and money that, if you really piss him off, he might just take a plane to your house and personally beat you. I don't know. Really? There's a helicopter going overhead. Why? It's so early in the morning. During my podcast, seriously? Hopefully I didn't get picked up here on the audio. Rude. Alright, guys. Let's move on. What do you got, Cody?
What do you guys want to talk about?
Oh, what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Last Time Is Now tournament. Alright, guys. We've had Sheamus versus Nakamura. Sheamus beat Nakamura, which I was so happy that he was going to be going forward in this tournament. Then he got injured. Right? Then this week, we've had Solo Sikoa versus Penta. I saw Solo go off the barrier, knock his shoulder out, dislocated, I believe, or something. He's going to be out for a bit. I heard regardless of the injury, Solo Sikoa was supposed to go over. It really sucks because I hate seeing wrestlers like this getting hurt, especially knowing that the Rumble is right around the corner. And once the Rumble is done, it's the road to WrestleMania. So, I feel like if I was an employee or a wrestler, a superstar, I feel like my most important, time to be healthy, to be fit, would be between January and March. Or January and April, I guess, or May. You want to be healthy all through Rumble season. You want to be healthy all through the Elimination Chamber and all the way up to WrestleMania. Get that big paycheck. So now we got Penta and Sheamus out of the tournament, and it just so happens that they're on one of each side of the bracket. So Solo went forward, right? And then we saw this week Gunther versus Carmelo Hayes. Holy crap. Good match, Sorry, I clear my throat. Dave Foster.
You fucking mark!
I'm calling you out right now, man. I'm trying to sleep, and you were blowing up my phone, telling me you think Carmelo Hayes is gonna go forward in the tournament. Boy, were you wrong. Were you wrong, buddy? Don't take it too hard, Dave. Don't take it too hard, but my boy Gunther is going all the way. I'm sorry. He's going all the way. You know? Now I guess I can get into a little bit of not a little bit. Let's go full spoilers. I gotta let me put the John Cena tournament. It's gonna go right into, because I have to. If I can't tell you what happened on SmackDown, we can't talk about the Last Time Is Now tournament a little bit further, because we have Jey Uso versus Rusev, right? Let me hear. Jey Uso defeated Rusev on SmackDown to advance to the semifinals, and the Last Time Is Now. Uso was said to have a massively win over the Denver crowd when he knocked off the Bulgarian Brute with a spear and a splash. We also had The Miz earn a second chance opportunity in the Last Time Is Now tournament by tricking R-Truth during a backstage segment. Sheamus was ruled medically unable to continue due to a shoulder injury, and The Miz took his place in the quarter-final match against LA Knight. Man, why couldn't you just have R-Truth? Really? Can't you just, even though he was going to lose, why couldn't you have just R-Truth anyway? To have The Miz again? And it sucks because a lot of people were looking forward to maybe a surprise entrant. Could have had anybody on the roster, but no, let's run it back to The Miz. Right? But LA Knight picked up the win. So did Jey Uso. So now we're going to have, next week, we're going to have Jey Uso versus LA Knight. That'll be interesting, especially after the PLE, because I could see Jey Uso maybe being, like I discussed earlier, being a heel. So, Jey Uso as a heel going against LA Knight, that would be pretty interesting. But we also have Solo Sikoa going against Gunther. Let me tell you what, this tournament has had some really good bangers in it, some great comebacks, some great pops, some good quality matches we're seeing here on Raw and SmackDown. But I am highly interested to see how Solo Sikoa and Gunther turn out. How it turns out, the process. We are back to an old theme of Gunther, wearing the robe, just ass-kicking Gunther, man. He doesn't have Emporium. He doesn't have any stable behind him. He doesn't have anybody with him. He's just fucking plain old Gunther, man. I love the old theme music. I love it. With that said, I could see us getting down to LA Knight versus Gunther. I don't want to see Jey Uso versus Gunther again. I don't want to. I don't need to. I don't want it, man. We've already seen it. We saw it for the IC title at WrestleMania. We don't need it again. I think we've seen him a couple times. I don't need to see it again. Give me something new. Give me, because having either Gunther or LA Knight in the finals, having either one of them win, I'd be happy. Because you'd be putting over LA Knight big with John Cena. You'd be putting over Gunther big with John Cena. I don't care. I'm fine either way. So, we'll see how that tournament turns out. Also on SmackDown, Chelsea Green finally received her Women's United States Championship celebration. She proclaimed herself to be the greatest female champion in all of North America, which brought the WWE Women's Champion Jade Gargle down to the ring. The Storm laid out Chelsea before she could even enjoy her highly beautiful, the highly exclusive firework display, because she bitched she didn't have fireworks the other week. Backstage segment with the Babyface Women's Wargames team aired, featuring AJ Lee, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte, and Io Sky. LA Knight defeated The Miz to advance. We already discussed that. The backstage segment with the heel women's Wargames team aired, featuring Becky and the rest of the women. Some sort of backstage segment. Charlotte Flair defeated Asuka to earn the advantage for her team in the women's Wargames match. Solo Sikoa was the sole survivor in the traditional series 5-on-5 elimination match as well. We finally got the MFTs versus Sami Zayn's team of Rey Fenix, Motor City Machine Gun, and Shinsuke Nakamura. What a weird team. But the order of eliminations for that match went as followed. JC Mateo got eliminated, then Shinsuke got eliminated. Tongaloa, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, Rey Fenix, Tala-Tonga, and then Sami Zayn, with Solo Sikoa standing as a sole survivor, which I think you need him to stand as a sole survivor going into his match with Gunther. You need to keep him strong. I don't think you could have had him lose anything and keep this MFT group strong. Now that everybody on his group is off the injured roster, it would have seemed wrong to have them lose to this random put together team of Sami Zayn. Boy, oh boy, very random. The Wyatt Six appeared after the match was over and took out Solo Sikoa to end the show, though. It was said that roughly hours worth of content was filmed for the show, which likely means that there will be more backstage segments filmed for the television audience that the live audience did not witness. So, we'll see how that turns out. I don't know, it didn't really seem all that interesting of a SmackDown. I'd like to see Dragunov. I wonder who his next opponent's going to be going forward. I'm excited to see how the tournament plays out. Who's Jade Cargill's next, real opponent? Not B-Fab. I like to know who her next real opponent's going to be. What's up with Tiffany Stratton? She's taking just some time off. I got some questions for myself here. But, I've eaten enough of your time here today. I wanted to say that I'm very thankful for all of you listeners who've been here for 100+ episodes. I know we had episode 100 last time, and I kind of, gave our thanks and stuff out then. But even people who haven't been on again for a while. Another listener, Wayne, that we had on here before earlier, Drew Davis, Ron DiBenedetto, even Hoovy, Eric from Articulation Station. There's a lot of guys who've been on the show before. I know you guys haven't been on in a while. Some of you still listen. I just want to say I'm thankful for you guys for being part of the show. Dre and Doyle, as always, man. Without you two, I don't think the show would have kept going. Thank God I have wonderful co-hosts. Carlos, always there when we need him. I appreciate it, bud. And, I love your guys' podcast. I love that even after my show, you guys had your own show coming. That's awesome. You can never, ever have too many wrestling podcasts out there. New listeners who've been on the show, like Tyler Foster, Dave Foster, honestly, who aren't related at all, which is kind of funny. But those two guys, it's great having, newer listeners and guys who come back. Dwayne Coleman, I know, is an active listener who always talks about wanting to be on the show, but it's like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Well, bro, you come to my house all the time and you want to talk wrestling. I just got to put a fucking mic on you. You want to sit here and shoot the shit for an hour? Let's shoot the shit for an hour. Let me get an interview out of you, Dwayne. And anybody else who hasn't been interviewed, you want to be interviewed, let me know. I got time. we got like today. I was able to squeeze something in. I can squeeze something in. Let's make it work. But other than that, like, I'm very thankful for you guys all being here. I would like to say that I will be going through our Pro Wrestling Tees website. I'm going to be seeing about lowering some prices for the holidays from this week all the way past Christmas. I'm going to see about getting maybe the shirt logos changed a little bit. Maybe if we take the QR codes off the back of the shirts, it'll make them a little bit cheaper. I'll lower the price on them if I can. But if we sell, I think it's like 20 more shirts, then we get an unlimited amount of designs. And maybe we can get access to hoodies and hats and all that other cool shit. So if you haven't had the opportunity, go to ProWrestlingTees.com and type in PCW, Podcast Championship Wrestling. You'll see our shirts, and if you haven't given us a 5-star review, what the fuck are you waiting for? I don't care if you have, I've done it on Apple already, but have you done it on Pandora? Have you done it on Spotify? Have you done it on YouTube? Have you done it anywhere else? If you have the time, if you're on YouTube, you're on a rabbit hole, take 5 seconds, go to Podcast Championship Wrestling, look us up, give us a 5-star review, subscribe even. Take the time. You have other outlets, we could use the 5 stars everywhere. We could sell some shirts, Damn, I never thought I'd be doing another solo episode again. But I'm going to round out the show. I'm going to leave. I'm going to have you guys do your predictions. And then we're just going to play the rolling credits. How about that? Yeah? Alright, guys. Let's get the fuck out of here. We got something coming up. And that's...
Wargames!
Ho ho, hey, it's me, it's the Doyle, and I have been in New York City all day, and I'm fucking exhausted, and I'm gonna just bang this out and go the fuck to bed. Apparently, traveling on the day before Thanksgiving is a bad idea. Who knew? Anyway, Survivor Series in San Diego. Nobody's really sure what it means. Yeah, man, Survivor Series when I was a kid, man, loved it. You got to see weird, weird team-ups. Where else are you going to see Jake the Snake, the Rockers, and Brutus Beefcake on a team together? I don't know if that was really a team or not. But as they've gotten away from the 5-on-5 Survivor Series traditional elimination tag team matches, which they have on Smackdown now, that's kind of stupid. The last I have cared about Survivor Series. I think these Wargames matches are dumb as fuck. At least if there's no real feud worthy of being in the Wargames cage. And I don't think we're there for either of these Wargames matches. I like to point out again, as I always do, that the song War Pigs by Black Sabbath, which they insist on using to promote War Games each and every year, is a anti-war song. At any rate, so what's the card? 4 matches. Somehow it'll be 3.5 hours long, though, with 2 hours and 15 minutes of commercials. Anyway, for the Women's World Championship, we've got Stephanie Vacuum Cleaner versus the wretched Nikki Bella. God, Stephanie ought to just squash the fuck out of her. And then please get the fuck away from her. And I don't know. Are we giving Nikki Bella another program after this one? God, I hope not. Maybe we bring her even shittier sister back and then go after the tag titles or something. I don't know. She's come out recently, Nikki Bella has, I think, and said this is her last run. Thank fucking God it can't be over soon enough. She's fucking awful. And we really need to get Stephanie Ventilator something better to do than Nikki Bella, because this is just really a waste of her talents, shall we say. So yeah, I hope to God that Stephanie Veranda just kicks the living dog shit out of her, and I hope we don't see her again ever. I'm sure we won't be so lucky though. Anyway, for the Intercontinental title, we've got John Cena defending against the man he won the title from, Dominik Mysterio. I mean, I think logic tells you that Dom should win this, right? But I feel like Cena's going to lose his last match. Is Cena going to lose his last 2 matches? Like, that kind of doesn't seem right. Maybe he loses this and wins his last match. That doesn't seem right. Does he win here and bring the IC title to his last match? So I guess the easiest thing is just to get it back on Dom, get it off of Cena. But just something about him losing his last 2 matches kind of irks me a little bit. It just doesn't, I don't know. Can't really put my finger on it. But, yeah, I expect Dominik to take the title back. I think it was kind of I didn't mind having a Cena and Dom match or indoor interaction or multiple interactions even. They've been fun. But it seems just unnecessary to put the IC title on him. I think I've already bitched about that enough. Let's move on to the women's War Games match. We've got Rhea, Io, Alexa, Charlotte, and April versus Nia, Lash, the Kabuki Warriors, and my favorite Big Time Bex. This one has happy, fun time ending written all over it, in my humble opinion. This is where you get your big feel-good moment, the baby faces go over, the good guys win, all is right in the world. I feel like, unfortunately for my friend Miss Lash Legend, I think the rookie is in there to take the pin, which is stupid. There should be no pins in a War Games match, but that's a whole other discussion. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't feel War Games worthy, in my opinion. Yeah, they're just shoehorning it in because they have to have a War Games match in November. We stopped doing the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view and force-feeding a Hell in a Cell match every year for the same reasons. And frankly, I think is more impactful if you only drag it out a couple times a decade. Oh fuck, they're doing War Games this year. I think it would be a lot more impactful because these matches all run together. Do you remember any real specific moments from War Games? I mean, at some point, all 5 of them are going to be in the, all the baby faces will be in one ring and all the heels will be in another ring, and they'll all stare at each other, and then they'll rush and pair off and start. In the men's match, the same thing. There's going to be a big Tower of Doom spot. Io probably goes off the top, and I hope they switch it up somehow. But, she always has a trash can spot, which is cool, but is it cool 4 or 5 times? Yeah, I don't know. I love Io, but, yeah, I mean, I think this will be fun and all, but, and I think I said the other week, coming off the heels of those blood and guts matches, especially that women's match, which had its flaws, but I just don't see how this could possibly compare or compete with that. That match was so much fucking fun and so violent, and then they went so much further than that these ladies are going to be allowed to. Whether or not they would want to or would be willing to is a whole nother discussion. I won't even speculate on that. But they certainly will not be allowed to. You are not going to see Alexa Bliss with a crimson mask in this match. That is not going to happen. But yeah, I mean, I think the good guys go over here. On to the men again. Another match that just kind of seems thrown together. I know the Cody injury kind of maybe changed a little bit of this. I guess I think Logan Paul is probably the Seth's replacement. Maybe it's Drew. I don't know. But we got Pepsi Phil versus Cody versus the Usos versus Roman Reigns versus the Brons, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Mr. Magoo, Brock Lesnar. Yeah, I mean, like I said about poor Lash legend, James, I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. You're looking up at the lights, sir. I think Jimmy Usos in this match to get beat. Sorry, Bob. Yeah, I mean, I just, there's just not a lot of heat here. I wonder why John Cena is not in this match. Again, the Drew thing kind of maybe fucked up everything. But I mean, how much could it really have fucked anything up? I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it needs to be a Wargames match. I don't know. I just don't see the heat here. I do, however, expect some type of intrigue somehow. Is this where finally somebody turns on somebody? If not one of the Usos, I can't imagine it'd be Pepsi Phil, but maybe it's Phil. I think we're going to get Phil and Roman at WrestleMania in lieu of Seth and Roman at WrestleMania. And maybe Seth ends up involved in that somehow, depending on how his rehab and whatever it goes. But yeah, this seems heels going over to me. So yeah, I mean, I just don't. This just isn't that interesting, I don't think. I mean, hopefully they come up with some fun spots, but again, no one's going through a flaming table here, So it's just odd that they have these two matches within weeks of each other, and it's hard not to compare the two. This is the last pay-per-view of the year, which is kind of strange. Last pay-per-view till the Rumble. I know we have Saturday night's main event, the John Cena Appreciation Love Fest, and when he's earned it, he has. But yeah, kind of went from a fucking show every other week, it seemed like, to nothing for a while. Anyway, everybody have a good Thanksgiving. Go Pats, and I hope I didn't sound too much like I'm on mushrooms, because I am.
It's on me now, Oos. Hey, I'ma get them all. I'ma get them all, Oos. Yeah. I'ma get them.
Yo, what it do, PCW crew? Main event Dre Uso here with this Survivor Series predictions. Now, we've only got 4 matches on the card as of the moment I'm recording this. We'll see if they add something new this Friday on SmackDown, but I have my doubts. So we'll start off with what I suspect will probably kick off this PLE, and that is the John Cena defending his Intercontinental Championship against Dominik Mysterio. This match, my guess is Dominik Mysterio will regain the Intercontinental Championship from John Cena. No reason for John Cena to go into his last match as the IC champion. Therefore, it makes perfect sense for him to drop the title here, give the rub to Dom, and for Dom to go back to being Dirty Dom, Dose Belts, and a 2-time Intercontinental Championship. Moving on to who I think is the next match, probably will be Stephanie Vaquer defending the Women's World Championship against Nikki Bella. Stephanie Vaquer should pretty easily win this match. Hasn't had any title defenses, I don't think, since winning it. This is her first major challenger in Nikki Bella. I highly doubt that they would put Nikki Bella as champion this quickly or end Stephanie Vaquer's title reign so quickly either. So this one should be pretty standard fare. Stephanie Vaquer coming out on top. Easy win for La Primera. Now let's move on to the War Games matches, starting with the women. We got Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and AJ Lee challenging the team of Nia Jax, Lash Legend, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, and Becky Lynch. As far as who comes out on this, my guess is that it'll probably be a win for the babyfaces. They tend to usually come out on top in most of these matches, especially on the women's side. And the team itself looks pretty strong compared to the team of Nia Jax, Lash, and others. I will say that I do think we will get a strong showing from the likes of Lash Legend, and probably we'll see, as always, a typical trash can spot from Io Sky, given that she did just recently post to social media introducing her trash can as Mr. Trash Can. Yeah, this will be a good showing from the women, as they always tend to show out in these matches, so no doubt about it. My money's on the women babyface team led by Rhea Ripley and Io to come out with the win. So that leaves us with our last match of the night, the men's War Game match. The team of CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, the Usos, and Roman Reigns taking on The Vision, consisting of Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. My guess is that the team coming out on top in this one will in fact be The Vision. That faction, however it exists in terms of what among these 5 members is full-on Vision and which ones are just on loan or part-time or what have you, either way, the faction is still being built up, especially in their post-Seth Rollins era. Therefore, they need a significant win like this over a powerful team like this to continue to build up that faction. If they just get squashed by all the top baby faces, then what's really left for them after that? Kind of puts them back down to mid-card, you could almost say. So my guess is that they will come out on top, and probably will be Jay or Jimmy will probably be one of the ones to take the pin in this match. Other than that, it'll be hard-hitting. We'll see a lot of violence, a lot of spots and stuff that we typically see in these men matches. Usually the men's War Games matches are not as good as the women's War Games matches, and I pretty much expect it to be the same this year. The women are going to be the ones that are really going to show out and really going to bring it in their match, whereas the men's match will probably be more about storytelling and typical crowd-pleasing spots just to get pop from the fans. But in the end, like I said, Vision comes out on top. So that'll do it for my predictions for Survivor Series 2025. We'll see what happens.
Able to be with you. Hope you're able to check out our episode that we're dropping on Saturday about our WrestleMania 37 revisit. But in the meanwhile, happy holiday, have a safe and happy Thanksgiving, and we hope you enjoyed the episode. As for Survivor Series, depending on how this goes, I can definitely see the Dominik and John Cena match starting off first, unless they want to go ahead and do one of the War Games, which probably be the ladies' War Games match. So let's play it safe and we'll go with that one first, which the women's, traditionally the Survivor Series War Games match has been really good compared to the men's lately. But if I had to predict anyone that's going to win and probably needs to win, I could probably take the loss a little bit better. It'd be the women. I could see that the team of AJ, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Charlotte Flair beating Alexa Bliss, beating Becky Lynch, Asuka, and Kairi, Sane, Nia Jax, and Lash Legend. But it could be a very interesting match, just mainly because of the dynamics and everything like that. That we have all these women have something and some animosity to get to each other's throats. So I think this will probably be one of my matches of the night. And then if for some reason we do get the Dominik and John Cena match starting, I can't see John Cena winning. But there's that little bit of percentage that they might hold it off. But now with Sheamus getting hurt, that would have been the contender of if Cena held on to it for him a reason to lose to Sheamus, so he can be a Grand Slam champion. But I can see Dirty Dom pulling it out, becoming Dom 2 belts once again in his hometown of San Diego, and proving once again why he is the king of the luchas and the best Mysterio of them all. And then more than likely we'll get the Women's World Championship. And I can't see why we would get another Nikki Bella run. I know that it might have been like a 2-year deal that she might have signed on there. But for her, Stephanie Vaquer to lose to Nikki, which that heel turn to me is still something that's out of nowhere. Like Stephanie, I guess you could say kissed her ass, but was saying nice things about her, and for Nikki to be like, well, you reminded me of the person I was, it just seems something that comes out of nowhere to me. And so I think this was just they booked the match just to book a match. And lastly, we have the men's War Games match, which, let's be honest, this is probably going to be a brutal one. Just like the women's Blood and Guts match was for AEW, I could possibly see this being a very, maybe not bloody, but a very, like, not gut wrenching, but it's like you might in yourself be like going, ooh, or something like that. So there's a lot of turmoil when it comes to the face team of Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and the Usos. So I can see that the good guys, the faces, probably will not beat the team of Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, and Braun Breaker, along with Bronson Reed, the Tribal Thief. They seem like if they take a loss, especially to this super face team, I don't think any of them will recover. So I think Team Heel of Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed ends up coming up ahead. And that just builds, I think they can build off a little bit more of that turmoil, especially with Roman Reigns ending Raw, where he left it very ambiguous. Will he go for Cody Rhodes' belt? Will he go for CM Punk's belt? Or will he go for them both? Again, we'll never know. But once again, deuces, ooses.
Things are really heating up here at the Survivor Series, and I gotta tell you, these great fans here in Hartford, Connecticut are red hot too. And you know, when it's so hot, so long, well, that means that the incubation is all over. And that means a lot of us are looking forward to seeing this gigantic egg. Wherever that came from, I'm sure it had to hurt. But this egg is going to hatch here tonight. As a matter of fact, hold on. This cracks me up. I can hear it starting to creak and crack right now. Everybody has speculated as to what might be in the egg. Is it a dinosaur? Is it a rabbit? Balloons? Is it the Playmate of the Month? Who knows? Well, the way it sounds to me right now, the speculating is all over. Whoop, stand back.
Oh, look at the
stand
crunch.
back. I think that egg is ready to blow. Oh,
there it is. What is it?
What in the world? Oh my God. What in the world is this?
I don't know what it is.
Take a look at it, ladies and gentlemen.
I know. You're looking at me like I don't know what it is.
A beat. A little rooster tail up on top. I don't know. He got a pair of legs like my mother-in-law, pal. Look at the feet on this thing. I can't believe. What in God's name is this? Holy. What? What is with the gobbledy? The gobbledygook. Ha! Don't tell me you're the gobbledygooker. You've got to be kidding me. Is that all you do is gobble? Well, on Thanksgiving, what would you expect? What? You want me to what? Oh, no. I wouldn't do that, not in front of an audience like this. All right.
You are the world's dumbest son of a bitch.
The fact that day in and day out, for almost 6 years, I have proved to everybody in the world that I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even at commentary. Nobody can touch me.
You are not ready for Asuka!
Because the Street Profits are up and we want the smoke. You're next! Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
New day!
The cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah, Macho Madness here.
Welcome to the Kevin Owens Show.
Lately, he just hasn't been very oozy.
Because I'm the Miz, and I'm awesome.
Those rotten bastards.
Bye-bye, bitch.